All right, welcome back to the Space Luchador program. Now, today I got a special one for you. So before we start, real quick, help me help you by buying me a coffee. The link will be in the description. You can also pause the video here if you feel so inclined and get any kind of value in today's video. Now, let's go ahead and jump in. Sadia Khan just got exposed, right? So every red pillar from the manosphere to every relationship coach out there in the internet is up in arms. Now I want to tell you, do not be deceived. Understand. Here's my take. Here's my 10 cents. Here is an opportunity to learn, to actually emphasize what I've been saying in my videos all along. Now, all of these guys, from top to bottom, Pearl here with her dumbass face. You got Tate, you got Myron, you got all the red pillars, top to bottom, all of them, including myself, including Sadia Khan, that talk about women. Her being a woman herself, right? This is what I want you to see. I want you to see that she is not necessarily exposed per se as a fraud in the relationship coach world, even though all her credentials are full of shit. That is true, but hey, who can truly say I am an expert in psychology? Ain't no real school for it, is there? You know, even though there is, I major in psychology and blah, 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 and it turns out they don't know a damn thing, right? But that's not the point. The point here is that she is qualified, right, as a woman, and that's my point. However, every other coach and red pillar are all trying to basically use her and her exposure here as a way to say, see, you can't learn a damn thing, right, from the fish's mouth itself. That's what they're trying to say. And this is only going to muddy the waters to any actual, what would it be, a newbie or a nice guy trying to actually figure this out in relationship world. Now, let's go ahead and jump in and I'll show you what I mean.
So to start, who is Sadia Khan? Or as people are now calling her, Sadia Khan. I understand that it sounds like I'm just saying the same things twice. This is really more of one of those things where you have to see it spelled. It's kind of like saying tomato through text. Anyway, Sadia Khan is a woman who has been described as a psychologist, a psychotherapist, and a relationship expert. She first gained fame in 2023 after appearing on the School of Greatness podcast with Lewis Howes. Here, she really won people over with her beauty and elegant, articulate way of speaking. She described her impressive educational background and made clear that her goal with social media was to make online therapy more accessible. She blew up and started getting hundreds of millions of views almost overnight. I believe I learned about Sadia Khan sometime earlier this year, probably around the same time she was on the Jay Shetty show. Just like about everyone else, I thought she was extremely charming, and the bits and pieces that I did hear her speak on, I found myself really agreeing with. And when you look at a woman like Sadia Khan, you see someone so graceful, so almost flawless, that it seems almost impossible to imagine.
I mean, she kind of just looked like your standard Instagram girl to me.
Course, Pearl not adding a damn thing. So, and this is my point, right? You're gonna get a lot of takes, right? Which is too many here for me to even go through. But basically, you're gonna get the simple takes of Pearl here, who hates her for her looks, right? So she tries to downgrade. Oh, she just looks like a regular. No, Pearl, it means not a damn thing whether you think the way she looks. It doesn't matter. Is that she's a woman just like Pearl herself. And that's my point. Just like the other girl. The other girl's attacking, well, she blew up because she's fine. She's attacking, she ain't fine at all. Understand? Now, let's take it over to Myron here, right? Now he's gonna give you the take that every other guy is gonna take, right? Which is basically, she's a woman, so therefore she can't teach or coach any kind of capacity on relationships. And this would be the deception. This is the part that I want you to really understand. And I know it's hard. I know my take is literally one out of everybody else. I know. That's why it's so damn hard, right?
She was just exposed for allegedly cheating with an engaged man as a side piece, undermining her credibility. Years ago, I called out her claims of being in a long-term relationship and presenting herself as a high-value woman, despite the fact that I knew for certain she's actually single and purposely lying on every podcast she went.
Now there's the deception. Now understand what I'm saying, okay? First, I'm going to explain what Myron is saying. Myron is saying that she's basically a fraud, and therefore you can't learn from her at all because she got exposed in being a side piece. However, understand, this is what I've been saying all along. They are all the same. You don't believe me? Look back at my videos. And I've spoken about, and mostly I use women coaches because they actually tell you the truth. They really do guide you. They tell you the information you need to know because they are women. They understand it. They know what it is to play the game in their form. Understand, in their side. However, when guys like Myron, right, and dumbasses like Pearl, right, give their 10 cents on the matter, they say shit like, well, you see, she's exposed because she's a liar, because she's this, because she's that, and she's all of this. And then they forget the very thing that they themselves are trying to promote and teach at the same time, which is ironically the same damn thing that she is. Right? Now, Sadia Khan is not nothing special, nothing different from, her to any other woman. So what makes her an expert, right, in this topic of relationship? Well, the fact that she's a fish. And what have I been saying all along? What's your job? To catch a fish. Not chase a fish, catch a fish. And how do you catch a fish? And you'll hear it again and again here at the Space Digital Program. With another fish. And that is the point. Now, I'm going to point to this scene here, right, to show you what I'm trying to say.
Yet their strength and their speed are still based in a world that is built on rules. Because of that, they will never be as strong or as fast as you can be.
Now, what does that mean? Well, I've been trying to tell you this all along. That Sadia from Pearl, all women coaches have one thing in common. All of their powers, everything, their opinions, their wants, it's all based in a world that is dictated by rules. And what are these rules? The rules that I've been talking about in the game. That's the point. So when now the whole world, in this case in the red pill community, are now all bagging on Sadia, and I'm not defending her by any means, right? She did get exposed, but not for the reason that they're saying, well, now anything she ever said is all BS. No. Yeah, she got exposed, but for what? For being a side piece? For proving my point? What I've been saying all along? Right? This ain't about being a high value woman, that's the point, right? I've been saying it in a bunch of different forms. There's only high value in women, period. Not a high value woman. It's not how it works. Because you got to understand, what is the value in the first place? Who sets it? Right? Now you can see any old woman in the street. You set the value. And now to prove that again, I point to the scene. Here it is again.
What are you trying to tell me? that I can dodge bullets?
No, Neo. I'm trying to tell you that when you're ready, you won't have to.
And there you go. Now I know it sounds like, well, you didn't prove nothing and you didn't say much, right? But actually, I'm saying a whole hell of a lot. I'm saying literally the one thing you should be paying attention to. You have all the power. That you don't have to. Once you're ready and truly understand the truth, right? All the power, all the moves, all the cards, all the keys, they are all held by women. I've said it over and over again, right? But they still operate in a world of rules, and that's my point. And because of that, they can never be ever more powerful, right? Or faster, or for that matter, in any way, shape, or form, better than you. And once you understand that, then you don't need to dodge bullets because they mean nothing to you. That's the point, right? Anyways, this whole situation with Sadia Khan being exposed because she's a side piece and because apparently she likes to, do the good deed of a BJ, right? Apparently. And for all this talk, again, and trust me, I've seen a couple of these videos of them all going, she's exposed, and Tate doubled down on the exposure and all this other crap, and it's like, what did you expose? What? Anything that I don't see nothing here that was exposed. Like, if anything, it shows you exactly what she was meant to be, right? I mean, sounds bad, but I just see nothing here. If anything, I was the one telling you, right? You don't really know the truth. For all this claim of, well, you gotta be in a relationship, and, no cheating here, no cheating there. What did I say? Ain't no such thing as a woman cheater. Once you understand what it is, what they do, how it works. And again, for all the talk on bashing her, I don't see anybody talking trash about the guy, right? I don't see it. She's a side piece, remember, to some dude, a man, a real man. Because you must understand, for all this exposure, because there's like audio, video, and text messages about her fighting the guy's wife, right? And defending her stance and how she, in the middle of all this, of their engagement, right? They're engaged in the background, behind the scenes, right? She's doing the BJs and all that other good stuff. But understand, like, remember what I said. I've said it before. I said it. You take an L, right? Someone out there is winning. And that is the ultimate and true point that you should be learning about the game. You cannot hate the player, right? You can't even hate the game. You must learn what the game is. And for you to live in a world where you're a naive world, you really believe that it should be how, kumbaya and all that other stuff. That's not how it works. That's not at a high level. And that's the other point, right? At a high level, I don't see nobody commenting on the guy. Well, who's this guy? How did he pull Sadia? How did he pull her to the point where she's just a side chick? And she doubled down, fighting and bickering with the wife once she got caught. But the point is, it's not like, well, I'm ashamed and, well, we need to stop this. So for the betterment of your relationship and we need to cut this up. Nah, she doubled down. She said, I do double the damn work. So no, right? Wait, I ain't quitting. I must win this battle with this other fish. And that's my point. I've said it in other videos, if you don't believe me. It's not about us. We're not important. It's always been about their own battle between fishes. And that if anything that you must take away from this video is to learn and understand what that battle is and how it works so that you, the man, right, can do extraordinary things like this. Now, if you're ever gonna get caught, like I said, wouldn't it be better to just be the guy in the middle? But, oh, well, yeah, I was exposed for having a couple of side bitches. So what? Right? You see, the reason everybody's up in arms is because you can have a couple of side chicks here and there. Myron here cannot. Pearl cannot. Understand? Every other hater cannot. And I bet my bottom dollar that if they could, they would. And that is the bigger point. So let's go ahead and finish it up.
Went on earlier in her career. The worst part, men take her seriously, spending thousands on her consultations. Let me be clear, gentlemen. Female dating coaches advising men are generally ineffective. Why? Because women cannot fully empathize with the male experience. They'll never live it or truly understand it. Women navigate dating with inherent advantages, making it nearly impossible for them to offer practical strategies to boost your sexual market value. Or
see, now this is a stupid take. You really. For him, and this what I'm saying, his whole premise is that a woman coach cannot offer you any kind of value because she is not a man or go through the quote-unquote experience of a man. However, I've told you over and over again, if you're trying to find gold at the beach, for example, or silver, or anything worthwhile, what do? You get yourself a metal detector. That's right. Spoiler alert. Guess who can detect the better man? Guess what machine can detect gold if gold was a man? Guess what is the one thing that can point to what a man, right, if anything, an attractive man, right, guess who sniffs them out better than anyone else in the world? Well, the opposite sex. That's right, spoiler alert. A woman can sniff out a man a mile away. Understand what I'm saying. Understand. And you'll hear it here first. No other creature on the face of the planet can tell anybody what is attractive to a woman than the woman herself. Understand. Now, will she tell you all the secrets? No. Because there's other stuff that I haven't spoken on just yet, because like I said, we're not there yet. But understand, right, at the end of the day, no woman, right, anywhere in any room, just sitting there, right, chooses who the man is. Understand that, okay? Now I know I've entered into taboo territory. No. They don't sit there and go, oh, see that guy over there? I like that guy. I choose him. No. It's, I feel a presence. That guy over there, something is telling me, right? This is how it really works. It really is. And it's how simple it really is, too. However, you'll never hear it anywhere else because they don't understand it themselves. I do. That's why I claim it here. Space Luchador Program. You hear it here first. Alright? Everything in my little senses as a woman is telling me that this guy may be the man. And there, long and behold, she's attracted to him. She don't know what it is, but she's attracted. Period. And that's something that Myron here don't understand. Pearl herself don't understand it. Right? And she's a fish. right? But she don't understand it. Hell, women themselves don't understand it. Which is why something like this in the internet happens, right? The whole Sadia Khan exposed, and everybody's talking shit, and you know, she's literally a side piece to some dude. And at the same time, I saw another video where she was saying, well, she's a side piece, and that shows you she is discredited and all this other stuff. And in the same video, there's another clip where she says, all I want to do is marry for money. Now, how can this be? All right? How can, in the same video that quote unquote exposes Sadia here for some fraud that claims that she's a side piece. Think about that. A side piece. In the same video, they use a clip of her saying that all she cares about is money, and that she wants to get married to a rich dude in Dubai for money, which also they use to discredit her being a relationship coach, quote unquote. But how can this be? Huh? Brain food for you, right? Homework as well. But think about it. On one hand, she's a side piece. Oh, by the way, a good side piece. She's doing the work, right? On the second hand, she wants to marry for money. How can this be? A woman who everybody claims is a fraud because she wants to get married for money and money alone, it turns out to just be a side piece to some random dude, right? And she doubles down because she claims to be the best woman in this love triangle, which has nothing to do with money. How can this be? Now you'll notice none of these fools right, in these videos touch any kind of level of just regular mathematics, because to me this is just regular mathematics. You can't say in one video she's exposed because like every other woman, see, they want to marry for money, and then in another she's just a side piece. How could this be in the same world? Could it be because everything I've said is not about money? Right? It never was. It's literally about the game. I call it game theory. Now, what is game theory? Well, I'll have to make a whole ass video on it. But basically, game theory dictates her behavior, dictates her situation. It's the reason she's in the situation in the first place. It's why she's a side piece. It's why she doubled down, because it is the only move. Right now, you would think logically that she could, turn around and be the better woman. And, oh, well, I got caught. But you can't. You understand? She's all the way in, all in. Too late. You can't turn around and say you're sorry. You can't. That's like, that's like being a part of a heist, right? And then you get caught in the middle. Well, you know what? Because I got caught, I'm gonna do the right thing now and walk away. Nah, that's not how it works, even though everybody claims it does. That's not how it works. Never has. Never will. You understand? When you're in it, you gotta go all the way. All the way. And there's a hidden math that dictates exactly the next move, which is why I said it's chess. It's chess, because in her mind, as a woman, right, having now being caught, you cannot, right, say you're sorry. Now you must double down because it's the only pathway to victory. Understand? Maybe not the W, but victory. Because it's not about you, Myron here, Pearl, Tate. It's not about them. She could care less, right? It's about the actual situation that she's in. Now she's a side piece. Now she must get herself out of the side piece role, right? And prove to herself, right? Literally, prove to herself and position herself in a better position. And it is the only pathway to be the best in this love triangle. Now that's why the whole, I would play the audio here, but I can't find it. Lost it in between all the scuffling of videos and stuff. But anyways, there you go, right? Let's go to the comments, just see what people think, right? She was uncovered as a side piece the entire time. Lost all credibility. Bye. See what I'm saying? It's like, so she's a side piece. So you see a little bit of the truth behind the scenes. And now you're gonna go back to blue pill instead of this great relationship coach that I believed turns out to be a side piece. And in no way or shape or form did you ever ask yourself, what kind of a man, right? What kind of a man did this dude have to be for this quote unquote relationship coach, psychologist, and woman expert in dating world? How was she able to not just get caught, right, but put literally in the side piece bucket? Not even the main bucket. You ain't even the main dish. Why? That's what they never do. They never ask why. How? How did this happen? How? Well, I'm telling you right now. How? Simple. Right? She got caught with another fish. How do you catch a fish with another fish? And then it doesn't matter at what level you think any woman is at the end of the day. And I point back to the scene. They live in a world of rules. And because of that fact, they can never be faster, stronger than you can be. What are you trying to tell me, Space Lucha, that I can dodge bullets? No. I'm telling you that when you're ready, you won't have to. So there you go, right? I could go in deep and all little details here and there, but it bores me. You don't need it. All you really need, if you want, go ahead and go see all the exposure that you need. But in all reality, it's the same shit, right? She's a side piece, so all her credibility and all her videos of all her coaching tips and here and all that shit goes out the window. And now every other guy that ever followed her is now lost in the sauce, only they never really understood the message. And the message is clear and simple, right? You are supposed to be the man. You are supposed to have the skills. You are supposed to know. You must be able. Maybe not willing, but able to do the steps necessary, and this is the point, the steps necessarily, and have the skills to put any fish in any bucket that you want. Main dish, side bucket, bait bucket. It's all up to you. You have the power, and that is my message to you. So there you go. Now, if you got any kind of value, any kind of, curiosity here, maybe you weren't expecting this take. Maybe it make you think, oh shit, I hadn't thought of that. Hey, I didn't look at it like that, right? You really want to learn how to play the game. You really want to know what's going on at all levels. Trust me, at all levels. And as the higher you go, and I'm really saying the higher you go, top to bottom, if you don't have the skills you don't have what it takes, you might as well be a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest and understand what that means. It means you cannot win because you do not have, right? The legs, you don't have the damn legs. Literally. You can't stand and kick at the same time. Why? Because you only have one leg. Pretty simple, right? I provide you with more legs, and I'm telling you, you do truly have the greatest tool in the world in between the legs. So there you go. Just learn to lose it, and do not be deceived by all these dumbasses jumping on the bandwagon because they exposed Sadia, right? Exposed what? The side piece. Oh well, if anything, ask, how in the hell did some guy, right? Because according to everybody, she made a choice, right? What made her make the choice? I'm gonna be a side bitch. What did it take? So there you go. I'll see you on the next Space Luchador program.